Thank you very much for stopping by the channel. Today I wanted to talk about who the greatest quarterback of all time is. Now it's very hard to compare because, different eras, different teams, different rules, and you can't always go, well, they played in this era, so therefore they're not as good as this era or this quarterback in this case. You just don't know, and I don't mean to give you a prelim, but you really don't know. It's just an opinion at the end of the day. You look at all the quarterbacks. You can only judge a player that's played in their era. You can't be like, well, how would they have matched up against the 1990s team, the 1960s teams or something, or the 2000 aughts versus the 20 teens, tens and teens, and so on. You can't compare. You can if you want, but in my opinion, the greatest quarterback of all time is Dan Marino. Now, why do I say this? Well, Dan Marino in his early days didn't have much of a running game. You might say, well, they didn't run the ball that much. They just passed all the time. But when you think about the receivers that he never really had a star receiver. Mark Duper was pretty good. Keith Jackson was a great tight end. But during his time, there was never really a running game. Again, he didn't have the best receivers. And he was on a team that struggled a lot. Their offense, their defense wasn't, there were some times they didn't have really good defenses in the 80s. And he really carried that team a lot. So for what he meant to that team, someone will say Tom Brady, and that's a fair argument, but we're talking about when quarterbacks could really go after the or when defense players could go after the quarterbacks. And it's true, Tom Brady played in that era too, or the early 2000s before 2010. They really, 2015 is when they really started to protect the quarterback. But that's a fair argument for Tom Brady. But I think, in my opinion, obviously the numbers, Tom Brady had better numbers, but he played a lot longer. I'd have to go Dan Marino as the greatest quarterback of all time.